How's it going? How's everyone doing? Essential Notes, back talking fragrance once again, and here's a YouTube video that I'm doing. It's been a long while since I've been actually creating regular YouTube content. I had to take a break. I think I shot one last week, and so we're trying to get the ball rolling again. This video is long overdue. My plan was to shoot this in the late summer and give you guys fragrances that you should consider for the fall as we're heading in that direction. Well, we're there. We're halfway through the fall. So we're going to retitle this video half a dozen fragrances that you should consider picking up before fall ends. I tried to pick 6 because we're so late into it that we'll kind of bleed into early winter and be great kind of fall winter fragrances, and I'll be doing a winter video later on, but these are the 6 that I came up with for you guys. And the things I kind of talk about whatever I'm kind of into at the time or that I'm excited to wear. I have a bunch of others that could have definitely made the cut, but these are the 6 that I went with, and we're going to start off. They're in no particular order, so there's no number 1 or number 6 or whatever. They're all just half a dozen fragrances you should, think about and check out. The first one is going to be Oak and Oak, and this is from the brand Sense of Wood. Shout out to them. They just started their flagship store in Salt Lake City. They did have a shop out near Park City, which was really cool. It's kind of sad to see them move on from that, but this is going to be their flagship store. I'm super excited and excited about what the future holds for them. But this was one of their earlier releases. I think this might have been part of their initial PR packaging that they sent out to kind of influencers before they even launched. I think Plum and Cognac was in that initial one, and I also think Oak and Oak was in there. I may be wrong, but nonetheless, this is perfumed, or the nose behind it is my favorite that the brand utilizes, and that's Celine Barrel. I have a number of her fragrances from Sense of Wood. Seems like whenever she teams up with them, she makes gold, and I think this is my favorite of all of the ones that she's created thus far for the brand. This is such a warm, spicy, but it's not overly spicy. I would say it's spiced. This kind of warm, boozy, ambery, spiced with a woody backbone. And I get saffron in here. I don't know that they do have saffron listed. So I get a good dose of saffron. It's warm. It kind of has some incense elements. And we'll go over the notes. So the notes on Oak and Oak by Sense of Wood are saffron, incense, cumin, orris root, oak, tonka bean, amber extreme, which is an IFF ingredient, patchouli, and cedarwood. This fragrance just kind of evokes this really laid back but confident warmth and comfortability. I wouldn't say it's not a cozy scent for me. This is kind of like one that I like to wear out in the fall. I feel like when people come across it and kind of get their nose on it, it draws people in. In my opinion, it's always been kind of like a compliment getter in a way. I wouldn't say that it's the thing that's going to steal you the most compliments. I mean, I'm sure there's other autumn fragrances that do that, but the scent bubble that it creates, which is more important to me than the compliments. Like, to be honest, I'm happy enough wearing fragrances for myself and enjoying the scent throughout the day. I don't need a compliment, but they're nice to get. Don't get me wrong, but this is one where if people come across it, they take note. Like they kind of want to clue in. It has a unique kind of vibe to it, so it's definitely one I would recommend, this would probably be one of the more dressed up fragrances that I'll be discussing in this video. So just kind of take note of that. If you're going for a nice evening out in the fall, kind of, it doesn't have to be a formal function, but just out, this would be a good one to wear. All right, the second one I'm going to go with is one that was from their one of their earliest releases from the brand Habibi New York. I love their bottles. They have unique bottles. Yeah, I don't know. It just has a real kind of look to it. This is their Desert Oud, and again, I said I think this is one of the earliest releases that they came out with. To my nose, this is just kind of almost like a spicy bomb. This is definitely more spiced forward than Oak and Oak. This has an old school kind of characteristic. If you wanted to rock kind of that old money kind of style, but have a modern contemporary kind of facet or characteristic to that, I feel like this would be it. It's very kind of sophisticated. It's gentlemanly, but it's not old man-ish. It definitely has a touch of youth in there. I don't know who the perfumer was on this offhand, but the notes in this are cardamom, pink pepper, bergamot, peach, tuberose, clove, smoky gaiac wood, sandalwood, vetiver, musk, and then this amber accord. This has a spicy, there's a dry element to it, and I think it's one that, again, maybe a little bit more laid back, and this is like you're kind of chilling in your library or your den or your parlor, smoking cigars, chilling, reading a book, maybe smoking a pipe. This kind of evokes those kind of feelings. Dimly lit, Desert Oud would be the one that kind of encapsulates that kind of vibe. So the number 3 fragrance I have for you guys, it comes from the house Jorum Studios, which I think is in based out of Scotland. That is Pentimento. This was the first Jorum Studio fragrance that I tried. I tried it at I think I tried it at like Lucky Scent in LA. And I don't know, I think the girl had behind the counter had recommended me try this. She kind of saw the stuff I liked, pulled this out. She understood who I was, because I remember taking a photo of this fragrance and adding it to my must-have list. And I finally added it this last summer in hopes that I could wear it this fall. So I was definitely very much targeting wearing this now. And the perfumer on this, I think it's the gentleman who owns the brand. I don't know his name. I wish I did offhand. But the notes on this are spectacular. This has a it's kind of gourmand leaning. I wouldn't call it a gourmand full-fledged. I think it could change a little bit based upon temperature, but I will share the notes. Others might disagree with me, but it's definitely gourmand leaning. There's no doubt about it. It has this very yummy, scrumptious dessert, silky richness to it. So you have tiari, which I'm unfamiliar with that. I think it may be a floral. You have orchid, hazelnut, broom. You have carob absolute, tobacco flower, vanilla, rum, tonka bean. It is this silky, velvety, like very well textured gourmand. this is it. It's nice, it's smooth, it's warm, sweet. I don't know of anyone that's tried this and go, oh, that's not for me. I think gourmand lovers could really be taken with this and be surprised, because I don't ever hear anyone talking about this. But I also feel like people that maybe aren't into gourmands, that are more into fragrances that are not foodie, would be taken with this, despite all the gourmand things. It's a very cozy, there's a cuddly kind of vibe to this. This would be a great fall-time date night fragrance. So that's what, we got you with a night out, just to kind of stand out from the crowd with your oak and oak. Your desert is your kind of hanging out, leisurely, smoke room kind of vibe, very spicy, dry. And then I think Pentimento is a great date night fragrance. And moving on to the fourth one, and for that one we have Serge Louton's Chergui. This one was, I bought this one based off of JJ Colburn. I was on a live with him and he just spoke so highly of this. I blind bought it and was blown away. It's definitely everything he said. It's everything I was hoping it would be, looking for. It's perfect. I love this fragrance. JJ has a wealth of knowledge. Every time I'm on a live with Joseph, I'm taking notes, and then I'm messaging him the next 1 or 2 days, really just taking notes on everything he mentions. He has a really good grasp of fragrances that came out a while back and up to now, and depending on what your taste is, he's really good at finding what fits that kind of category. And he kind of knew, I think we were talking about maybe cozy fragrances or something on that day, and he mentioned this, and I blind bought it, and like I said, I'm blown away. There's not a lot of notes on this. This is I've had a freaking hard day and I'm gonna wind down. I wear this year round, but it pops and stands out in the fall. This is a decompress, unwind fragrance. I always put it on. I go take a shower and I just want to chill and forget about everything. Chergui is getting put on, and it has some of my favorite components. There's it only lists like 3 notes. I think it's Immortelle, a leather, and I think they call it a Russian leather, and then hay, and I love hay. So for any hay lovers out there and you don't have this would be one I would definitely highly recommend. Very relaxing. Again, decompress, unwind, Chergui. I have a handful of fragrances that I go to for that, and Chergui is one of them. And usually if it's fall or winter, Chergui is what I'm pulling out for that. Moving on to number 5. Number 5, we're gonna go with Burvuvu by January Scent Project. Gosh, I love this. This is a great cedarwood forward fragrance. I don't know how many different types of cedarwood, but there's this beautiful brightness. I feel like it might be like I might be mistaken, but I think it might be like categorized as like a cedarwood fougere type vibe, because to me I get a lot of brightness. It has a lot of lift to it, which is opposite of what I think of normally for cedarwood. I think of a calming, home-like feel, and this is a very breath of fresh air, go outside, go for a hike. It's life-giving. This is life-giving. I find it life-giving. So I wear this during the day on a bright, clear day in the fall where it's brisk out, and you kind of want to stand out. But the notes on this one are You have geranium, you have a Canadian white cedar accord, you have a red cedar, you have Texas cedar, then you have rose, patchouli, ginger, amber, Tonkin musk, henna leaf, honey, and castoreum. From the sounds of it, it's definitely, forget the whole fougere thing I said, I'm wrong, but it has that kind of vibe to it. Like it has this fresh, uplifting. If there was like this fresh, uplifting, invigorating cedarwood fragrance, this would be it. This would be what I would recommend to someone that's wanting like a woody, but kind of uplifting, vibrant, life-giving fragrance. Burvuvu by January Scent Project. So moving on to number 6, I'm gonna go with Zaharoff's signature Tabac. This has a warmed, baked good vibe mixed with tobacco. You got some boozy notes in there. This is walk in the door, grab some kind of dessert and pour me a drink and chill at home with the family. You know, you're kind of, even if you're going home to mom's house, walk in the door, get a drink, catch up. This has such a home like vibe where it's just like home, almost like this home for the holidays, but not Christmas. This is definitely, I think, of more the fall, Thanksgiving. Yeah, this is beautiful. I think it's Perfume by Claude Durr, and the notes on this one are cognac, lavender, rum, star anise, davana, honey, blonde cedar, oud, tobacco leaf, pimento leaves, fir balsam, sandalwood, plum, black amber, myrrh, frankincense, tonka bean, and vanilla. This is great. It's smooth. It has that tobacco kind of vibe, boozy, mature, grown up, but home and inviting and warm and comforting. And yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent for the fall. I hope they never get rid of this. I love wearing this. I love recommending this. I don't know how many people I've recommended it to, a ton. So shout out to Zaharoff. So I have an honorable mention. We knocked out 6. I have one honorable mention. It's going to be If by E.A.R.L, which is made by Frapin. And this is really, it's a gorgeous kind of fig / incense fragrance. I love incense fragrances. I had to throw an incense fragrance in here. It wouldn't be me without one. This would be one that I recommend for the fall. It stands up to the cooler temperatures. If you're looking for an incense, fall incense kind of fragrance, I feel like that's what this is. They don't describe it that way, but I do, and that's just what it is. So the notes on this one are ginger, pepper, bergamot, fig, sandalwood, patchouli, and gaiac wood. So there's no incense kind of in the mix, but that gaiac wood and what it does, like the fig that they have is maybe a little bit more of like a dry kind of fig, like almost like a dried fruit with this smokiness, which gives this impression of this sticky, smoky, resinous kind of vibe. And I think that's why I call it a fig incense fragrance. It has a touch of elegance, which, I mean, I think you could dress this up, you know, wearing this to a formal event. You would stand out wearing this. I think it's a beautiful scent, so I would definitely check out If by E.A.R.L. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Those are 6 fragrances plus an honorable mention that you should consider picking up before fall ends. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are kind of 6 fragrances that you recommend for fall? If you were to recommend me picking up one more before the season ends, what's one direction you could point me? I'd love to hear your comments. Also, if you can, like and share this video, greatly appreciated. But even more than that, like if you like this content and chatting about fragrances, please hit the subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. And until next time, peace.